Good afternoon, everyone. So,
Good afternoon,
yeah, good afternoon. So, hope everyone went through the videos posted regarding the TRIZ method. Okay, almost 4 videos. I tried to explain comprehensively such that you will understand the process and you will understand what you are doing in TRIZ method. Okay. So if TRIZ method is over, next we are actually moving on to the different topics in bio-inspired design. That means in different perspectives, how we are going to use bio-inspiration. So the major methodology or methods, three major methods we already covered, which are most important in order to apply somewhere, in order to apply the bio-inspiration in your own problems or in your own research problems, all those things. Those three methods you have to keep in mind. So at the same time, next we are going to discuss about the different perspectives. So how bio-inspired perspectives will be in the case of sensors, in the case of controls, in the case of optics. So this way, after discussing these perspectives, then I think we can wind up this course. So this way, what I'm telling here is maybe this is going to be the last online class, because from 10th onwards I will be on leave for 15 days. So that means I will be back in duty only on 23rd, okay? 23rd or 24th. But other topics, whichever other perspectives like you say soft robotics, that is controls, that will come under controls. Next, optics. Those all things already I recorded and kept in your folder. So next week you please cover those two topics also. Hope you are getting what I'm saying. If you just, I will share my screen, so and I will show you. So the screen is shared. Now you can see the classwork. In class folder, if you go in the class folder, you can see here, Chris already intimated you 4 videos. You must go through them. And after Tris, today I'm going to cover the sensors part. So how bio-inspired sensors generally appear to be, and what is the sensing perspective as far as bio-inspiration is concerned. After that, you have to look into soft robotics, that will come under controls. Okay, so after this class, you have to go through this video called soft robotic controls, that will come under controls. Okay, next you have to go for this one, bio-inspired optics. So next week's 2 classes are already uploaded in the folder. You please have a look at them next week. Okay. So today I'm going to cover the optics, sensing uh, related bio-inspirations. Yeah. Sorry. What is that? Can you check on the?
Actually, so I am MTech student, so I didn't get any videos regarding the quiz.
No, you can check your folder.
So in my
Folder.
folder it is showing empty.
Sir,
Your
maybe
folder is
once try sharing your folder, the link of your folder to us in the classroom.
no, but whoever part of this should be seeing these things, right? So you're all part of this course. See, look at this one. Either Manibhargava is not there in this. So these are all part of this course. So you should be able to see this one.
So it is not there.
Okay. So maybe I will share. No problem.
Yes,
Okay. So other videos you can see, right?
yes sir.
Yeah. So next week's videos I will share with you again. No problem. So that is about the plan now. So today we are going to cover the sensors, and next you have to look into the soft robotics, which I will share with you. After that, bio-inspired optics. So with that we will conclude. Okay, I am not going to. I'm not saying that the syllabus is over, but at least 80 to 90% we covered already. Okay, if you had completed TRIZ method. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the bio-inspired sensing systems. So in the bio-inspired sensing systems, if you had gone through the TRIZ method, you must have read this line. The human technology solve problems largely by manipulating the use of energy, whereas biology uses information and structure, two factors largely ignored by the new technologies. That is, we generally ignore those things, information and structure. It may appear very simple, but it is not that simple. So if you see, check this line carefully, that is, biology always uses the information which it gathered, that is, the set of experiences it gathered, set of conditions it underwent, which will come as experience, the complete information it gathers and it uses for further improvements. At the same time, it is going to use structural strategies in order to achieve different things. So already since beginning we have been seeing that the hierarchical structures or normal structures mostly responsible for their behaviors or uh, their features or properties. Okay, so that is the reason why you have to keep in mind nature is always using the information and the structure in order to build the new technology or in order to build the new capability. Okay, so whereas human technologies mostly are energy centered, that's why we are mostly worried about fuel, energy, these things, because all our technologies are electronics driven, all our technologies are energy driven. Because we are using electronics, we have to depend on energy. So, but nature is not doing like that. So throughout the evolutionary process, whatever the information it gathered, that information is actually manifesting into some structures. Because of that structure, it is getting that some new capability. That you please remember all this. Okay. So that is the reason why you should remember that nature always uses information. Information means what? Information means through the evolutionary process, whatever the knowledge or whatever the experience, whatever the content it gathered within. So whatever the information gathered within, that information will be manifested into a specific structure to tackle the condition. Hope you get that point. Okay, so that's the reason why in the case of sensing systems also They are not going to use electronic sensors or any other kind of sensors. See, they are also going to implement the structural sensing systems. You may call them as hierarchical structures, no problem, but still they are going to implement the structural sensing systems. We can give many examples, like your fly. That is, fly is generally the pressure sensing is like a 3D pressure sensing. So in the case of fly, wherever you wave your hand, it is going to catch the pressure fluctuations in the environment, then it can sense the threat. So that is the reason why you please remember, any biological system, any natural system is going to use structure as a powerful weapon. The structure-based sensing system, structure-based control system, structure-based optical systems like this, they are more used into their experience-oriented information to get manifested into structures. That means in reverse, what you need to understand? In reverse, you need to understand if some capability is occurring due to structure, means that structure is actually coded with some information. Can you understand that information? That is the question. Okay. So bio-inspiration, biomimicking, it is fine. Biomimicking, okay, that structure is working for snake. Some structure is there. So that structure I will mimic it as it is. Then it may work, may not work. It doesn't matter. But looking at the structure, analyzing the structure, and the structure working conditions and how it is working in different conditions. After analyzing that, if you are able to retrieve some information, that information is actually the information gathered throughout the evolution. If you are able to catch that information, you are going to execute this particular technology in a quite efficient manner. So please remember that nature is always using information and structure. Maybe strictly speaking, the information gathered through the evolution is actually being manifested into some structures which will tackle those required conditions for survival. Why it is doing like that? Because for survival. Okay, so that is about the basis of these biological systems. Now you just see, this is the rattlesnake. So in this snake, what kind of sensing systems are there? It is not a local system, as everybody can see in this. That is not a local system. That is actually the spreaded system. That is the sensing capability is there throughout its body or across its body. Okay, so complete area is covered with sensors. So you may call them as individual sensors, or you may call them as the what you say, that micro sensors or nano sensors. It doesn't matter, but they are all working together in an integrated fashion. Okay, so point number one is, in this particular snake, the sensing system is not localized. It's a widespread sensing system. Okay, it is like a superposition of different nano sensors or micro sensors, many micro sensors, different micro sensors integrated together, which are flexible and which can work in line with each other. Okay, so that is what you are going to observe. But how this sensing system is working? So that sensing system, again, the pressure based or vibration sensing systems, whatever it may be, if you can see, the pressure based or vibration, both are almost similar. Okay, so that kind of sensing system, if you see, so here you can see the surface. The surface is nothing but the microstructure. So these microstructure, the black areas you can see, the black areas are like this. and white area is like this. Okay, but color is due to some light reflection or something, but that we are nothing to do with that one. But even though it is a simple structure, within that structure it included a capability to sense the surrounding environment. Okay, so now you can see the white color area structure is this one, black color area structure is this one, and this here black color area structure is the different one, microstructure. So you can see this when you go to deeper higher magnifications, you can see these are clearly the hierarchical structures, right? So within, if you understand this particular structure, already you know how to understand these kind of structures. Parameterization, after that you can apply your methods. So with those things, what they did, especially the Singapore University, this is sorry, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, they implemented this by using some polymer structures. So when they implemented these polymer structures actually executed very good sensing capabilities. So the sensing is based on, you can see here how the material is distributed. So here if you see the artificial or the structure made from the polymer materials, that is PANI nanowires standing on PDMS. So that is only structure, okay, material related thing. So there you can see with respect to time, relative resistance changes in C. Diagram C, you just have a look into. So relative resistance changes. That means what is the sensing parameter here they considered? They considered the resistance. That means if you move it, if you are going to touch it, if you are going to make any change in its environment, its resistance is going to be changed. So that is the way actually they got inspiration from. But making this kind of structures definitely is a very difficult task. Still we need better methods rather than our generally people say that lithographic methods are there. They are too costly. But nature didn't use, that's what I told. We use energy for everything. They are too costly. But can you come up with a very simple methods in order to make this kind of patterns, this kind of structures? Okay, that is the another challenge. But when they make by using our sophisticated methods, there is a similar behavior. That means maybe snake also using this kind of strategy, but inside snake what is happening we don't know. We can't say that it is using the relative resistance change. No, we can't say like that, because snake will have its own strategy, but the surface may work in the same manner. That may be considering another parameter which actually gives some changes, which its brain will or its processor will perceive it. Okay, so that is the way the sensing systems are working in nature. So this is one example. The snake is one example, but you have to consider here that unlike us, these animals or creatures are not using the localized sensors. It's not using localized sensing systems. These are spreaded sensors, non-localized sensors. Okay, so that is the reason why here one beautiful concept you can catch, that if the sensing system is a spreaded sensing system across the surface, then your sensing capabilities will be very high. And one more thing you need to catch from this is, it is a spreaded sensing system. At the same time, look at this. This is exhibiting different colors. That means these structures are actually exhibiting multi-functions simultaneously. That means if you go and ask the snake, oh, your sensing system is good, it will say, no, it is not only my sensing system. It will say it has other functions also. Okay, so that is the reason why the spreaded sensing systems, the spreaded across sensing systems are more, what you say, that valuable than the localized sensing systems. So localized sensing system, what is the example, sir? There you see its eye is there. So eye is there, definitely the localized sensing systems. So here you need to catch 2 points. These natural entities or natural systems are using spreaded sensing systems rather than localized sensing systems. Localized sensing systems they have, but most of the systems they are using spreaded sensing systems. At the same time, these sensing surfaces are having multifunctional behavior. Not only sensing, they also take part in different processes. Point to be noted. Now, so when we go for that one, after this example, so they implemented the same thing at the eyebrow. So when they implemented that, just like this shown in the figure. So whatever the movements you make, so those movements are actually captured in a finest manner by using this particular strips. Okay, so these kind of sensors you can mount at a different places. Again, you have to observe here. We made it as a localized sensor again. Okay, so we made it as a localized sensor, and we actually mounted at a different places. So at this point, then at the finger point, so like that we placed it. So whenever those things will move, that is going to give the signal. So this way we can make viable sensing systems by using bio-inspired strategies. But if you ask me, sir, is it the right way to make spreaded sensing system into localized sensing system? No, because it is a very big challenge to make a spreaded sensing system with multifunctional behavior. That should be our target. If somebody start research on these things, they actually should target the multifunctional surface which will work as a sensor at the same time doing the other, at the same time taking part in the other processes. So you please imagine the aeroplane or your what do you say that underwater vehicles, whatever you are doing as your course project you did. So something you worked out, right? That is the oceanic jacket, that is to move from one point to another point. You just assume that port has a spreaded sensing system. So a spreaded sensing system is always advantageous. A spreaded sensing system become viable when it behaves like a multifunctional surface. That point to be noted. So then only it will behave like, that means it take part in different processes. At the same time, it works as a sensor. Otherwise, cost is going to be extremely high. That is the problem. You should not say that, sir, I am going to keep some 1 lakh sensors spread throughout the port, so I can make the spreaded sensing system. That approach is correct. You have to integrate them. You have to make that surface into a particular fashion. Then it will take a lot of cost consumption. Okay, so that is the reason why the story is not over. Still spreaded or the wide area sensing systems are not yet achieved. These wide area sensing systems, if you want to make them viable, you have to actually go for multifunctional surfaces. That means surface should be sensor at the same time doing other works too. So that is about the natural sensors. Now you see. So those are the what are the different changes came in the case of the different surrounding environments. It is presented in these things. That is for only example. Okay. So how we can make a bio-inspired sensor. So at the same time, you can see this one. So my question there is how snakes see water. Suppose if you ask about snake, because this experiment we already did and achieved some results, and we proved that snakes won't see water what you think in way. Okay, so it won't see in that way because snake is able to discriminate the water with respect to its contamination. Okay, so it is able to see toxic water. It is able to see different kinds of water. Okay, pure water, toxic water. That's why there was a paper or there was a publication that snake can actually discriminate the toxic water to normal water. Okay, it will drink only normal water. It won't drink toxic water. Okay, so that is the reason why this kind of sensing system, when we observed it, that kind of sensing system was in the snake only. So don't ask me why are you so interested in snakes. We are interested in snakes. It has excellent capabilities as far as sensing is concerned. Now you just see this one. I'm talking about the vision now. Okay, how snakes see things. Okay, here you have the snake's eye, and at the bottom position you have another kind of eye. Of course, you won't actually believe me if I say it as an eye. It is a kind of sensing system which observe IR part of your image. Maybe you can call it as infrared proximity sensor in your language. Okay, infrared part of the sensing system it has here. Here this eye can see UV visible. Invisible it can't see red color. Okay, so blue, sorry, green, blue, UV. Green, blue, UV colors seen by the normal eye, and infrared separately detected by the pit organs. Generally we call them as pit organs. You can see here the dots. Okay, so these pit organs, and you can see the design actually. Pit organs absolutely in front of the complete structure, and there the UV other light detectors are here. Okay, it has some meaning. Okay, but here what you need to understand is snake is actually looking at water or any other object as a superposition of the signal coming from these two sensors. Point to be noted. How snake is able to see? It is creating one picture by using the normal eye. That picture contains what are which components? Green, blue, and UV. Green, blue, and UV. Now one image is there. The second image constructed by what? The pit organs, which are at the bottom portion of the snake. Okay, the pit organs actually create an image of infrared. Now you just see it is actually brain. Its brain is understanding. Its processing system is understanding the overall picture as the superposition, not simple superposition. It's a combination of these two pictures. Simply speaking, simultaneously. It is not separate. Simultaneously. In order to understand this concept, you just imagine I kept one UV filter here. That is, you can see only UV light with this eye. I kept one IR filter here. That means one eye is watching UV visible, another eye is watching only infrared. Then how your brain process it? You have to think about that. Now this is the era of machine learning and these things, right? Machine learning, artificial intelligence, these things. Now you just think about it, how they are actually combining these different kind of pictures. So brain is actually superimposing them, then understanding as a single one. So when you actually perceive that in that particular fashion, you are going to perceive the world in quite different manner. That we proved it. Actually, when you use these two visions together, again, please understand, it is not using blue-green UV separately and IR separately. No. One image is coming from eye, another image is coming from beta argons. Both are merging together. So when they merge each other, brain is understanding in a particular fashion. Okay. In order to understand that, you have to become snake. So if brain is understanding in a particular fashion, then analyzing it, that way it understands that way it sees the world. Okay, that's why the special capability of discriminating the contaminants even in the water, it got it. So this kind of sensing systems also there in the nature. That means natural sensing systems, not only it's like a surface based, it is also what is happening inside, the analysis wise. Okay, so based on that capabilities, they are able to hunt, they are able to find the predator. Predator small movements also they are able to capture and go on target. Okay, so that is about the another kind of natural sensing system. That means first point what we thought, first what is our first point? The sensing systems are non-localized or widespread. Okay, so that has some application. At the same time, sensing systems can be at the level of analysis. Maybe you will call them as soft sensors, no problem. Okay, at the level of analysis, that's what I keep telling. While we can actually make a complete sensor just by using some algorithm, using only single sensor. Use any single sensor, but at analysis level, if you actually can make can bring out some methods, actually you can make this simple sensor into a extraordinary sensor. That is what you are calling it as artificial intelligence, machine learning, all those things, right? So that is what happening. So from nature you can learn, first point, widespread sensing systems, that is understood. Second point is, it is not only about the sensor. It is not only about the sensor. You can actually improve the capabilities of sensing at analysis level also. Example is snake's vision. The snake's vision is not a simple vision. It is a combination or a superposition of different regions of it's a kind of a combination of different images or high level image processing. Okay, so that is what the snakes are. And it is not like that I'm just simply speaking this. We proved it. Simple cosine principle he applied on the images, and he took infrared picture of the same thing and UV picture of the same thing. He combined and he could see the difference in the image I'm talking about. Okay, so that's why you have to see two possibilities are there. Okay, at analysis level also, by bringing some new method, new analytical techniques, you can actually create the soft sensing systems. That means software based sensing system. You will use very normal sensor, but your analysis method or your algorithm make it extraordinary. Okay, because the signal analysis is in a very different. So that is what about the another kind of natural sensing system. You must have seen about it, because generally squirrels see only UV light, they perceive in a different manner. Like that, different kinds of visions are there, different kinds of surrounding sensing systems are there in the nature. So both way, it is like a physical sensing platform systems. At the same time, at analysis level also, you can create different sensors. So for good sensing systems in your research or something, if you want to search on them, you can search for peculiar and extraordinary. Two different kinds of sensing systems. You can see peculiar. Why you are calling it as peculiar? Because you know only this vision. Okay, whatever actually not in line with this one, our vision systems or our sensing systems, then you call them as peculiar. Extraordinary, the same, the process is in line with our system, but it is far superior than our system. So peculiar and extraordinary. These two kinds of sensing systems you find in the nature. Please don't think only our vision, our sensors are far superior. No, not at all. Okay, so we have far superior sensing systems than our sensing systems. Okay, so examples here. So you have to remember again, this chameleon, sir, you are showing chameleon, it changes the color. Changes the color, but changing color is based on what? Sensing something, right? What is that something? Okay, and another thing is this chameleon has very good capabilities. You just look at the chameleon's eye, it can move the sensor part independently. The left and right eyes can be moved independently. It can observe 360 degrees. Okay, vision. That means what it is doing, it has a sensor component with it, but motion of the sensor component actually matters while receiving the information. It is able to establish a 360-degree field vision. Okay, I think recently to automobiles also we are introducing that. So that is the way it can move in different ways, and both eyes are independent. Independently it can move. So that is the reason why it got that 360-degree coverage, as well as it can hunt the its prey and get protected from predators. Okay, so and just to see the last one, the chameleons are able to see an insect from considerable distance and look at the eye structure. So sensor structure, that is macro structure. I'm not talking about the micro structure. The sensor structure actually decides the optics. The sensor structure decides the optics. Point to be noted. So macro structures also meaningful. They also see UV light. So that capability comes from what is there inside the eye. So that means sensing system means you have to look top to bottom. Okay. So what is the arrangement that is actually active towards the light, and what is the structure giving that particular capability, and what way it is able to moving this sensor to collect the information. So those all things are important as far as sensing perspective is concerned. But second example you see. In the second example, if you see, there it won't move eye at all, dragonfly. So dragonfly never move eye, but it will move head actually. But this particular sensing system is like a open sensing system. See the widespread eyes. Widespread eyes. That means you can ask me, sir, it has sensors, pressure sensors here also. Yes, there are the aerial sensors throughout the body. At the same time, those are for mechanical waves. When you see eyes, these are for electromagnetic waves. That means within a single system, the widespread systems are for pressure-based sensing and localized sensing system. I don't say localized, but more or less localized. Localized sensing systems are for electromagnetic radiation. If somebody asks why this difference, nobody knows. Okay, there may be some use with that one. So because electromagnetic radiation is far superior. So if electromagnetic radiation sensing comes to throughout the body, then you have a eye throughout the body, right? You can perceive 360 degrees without any effort at all. So that's the reason why there are differences. So widespread sensing system is for mechanical waves and localized sensing system for electromagnetic wave. That point you have to know. So, and another thing here you can see, it can also cover almost 360 degrees because it's a wide area sensing system. Mostly it is actually combination of micro lenses that became very famous because most of the defense drone technologies are actually based on this one. Now that's why they are going for very high resolutions. Even 50 kilometers above the drone is flying, which is not found by the radar, and it can kill the person who is in the airport. So recently happened in Iran, right? So by US drone attack. Okay. So their camera, if you see, camera definitely built based on Dragonfly inspired camera system. Okay, because their micro lens technology they use, the micro lens technology actually improves the magnification. So here they are not considering the material, they are considering the structure. They are considering the structure. They are also considering how it is improving the magnification rather than improving the color sensitivity or something. Okay, so magnification it is increasing. So that is what about the Dragonfly. So different aspect you can observe. And the last one, and it is far superior. This is mantis shrimp. Already in the case of the impact resistance, we discussed about it. In the case of impact resistance, it is the strongest boxing punch it can produce. The punch forces it can produce. But as far as its eyes are concerned, you just have a look at it. Those are extraordinary sensors. So in this case, it can move independently, it can move the eyes independently. Processing is happening at one place only. That means both eye or actually both sensors are gathering the information. Processing is happening at one place only. Same in this case. Two different sensors are there. That is one for mechanical waves and one for electromagnetic waves. But processing is happening at one place only. But whereas in this particular case, it has two same kind of sensors, two eyes. Okay, but the processing is localized. The eyes they can move the eyes 70 degrees, rotate the eye 70 degrees. You just have a look at the eye. Okay, so sensor actually can be rotated 70 degree, but whatever information gathered by particular eye is analyzed in that eye itself. That is localized sensor with localized analysis system. Localized sensor with localized analysis system. Okay. So when you listen to the optical bio-optics part of this eye, you will come to know more surprises. Why this is so far superior than, and we should not compare with the human eye at all. In front of this human eye is not even 10%. Okay. So it can see ultraviolet, infrared, and polarization light, the polarized light. So that is the significance. Okay. Now, from this kind of sensing systems, what you are observing now in this particular sensor, you have a rotating, that means dynamic sensor, movable sensing system with the analysis part integrated. Two eyes work independently. Okay, it can cover 360 degrees easily. Okay, so that is the thing. That is, sensor can be independent, but analysis can happen in the central processor. Sensor can be different sensors can be operating. Analysis can happen in the central processing. In the third case, sensors are independent. They are movable, rotatable, so they are independent, and analysis happens independently. This is fully independent. They are partially independent. Okay, so this way, sensor plus analysis both are localized. Okay, so these are the different points we can observe in nature. Okay, so let me repeat. I think it's already 12:45, right? So let me repeat this. In nature, mostly you find the wide area sensing systems or widespread sensing systems. Okay, so wide area sensing systems and widespread sensing systems, you must look into whether they are mechanical wave sensors or electromagnetic wave sensors. Okay, the pressure, force, all these things, mechanical wave sensors. Okay, so you have to look that. Most of the widespread sensing systems are structure based. Of course, others are so like that. Most of the widespread sensing systems are structure based. And the nature didn't use energy to make those structures. Nature used information and the what was structure. In order to make this structure, it used its information. Information means what? Not instant information it is getting. The information it gathered within its body throughout its evolution. Okay, so that's why I'm telling, if you are a real bio-inspired engineer, you should be, just by looking at the structure, you should be able to tell what information you are getting from that structure. And that would be really great skill. Okay, so that is the first point. Widespread sensors and analysis happens at the centers. And you can come up with the another kind of sensing systems where analysis happens at analysis level. Sensor will give signal, but signal analysis will happen in a very peculiar manner that will add the capability to the sensor. That is, sensing system alone not powerful, but sensing system with analysis algorithm, maybe in this direction, in this way I will tell. Analyzing algorithm is so powerful. So analyzing algorithm is adding the value to sensor. Sensor is normal only, like we discussed in the case of snake. It is giving normally visible UV image 1, infrared image 1. But at analysis level, the way it is analyzing is making these two sensors very powerful. That is the second kind of sensing systems. Third sensing systems, if you see, independent sensors with the central analyzing unit. At the same time, independent different kinds of sensors, independent different kinds of wave sensors with central analyzing unit. And the last one, fully independent sensor systems where the sensor and analysis both are localized. So these kind of sensing systems you observe in the nature. So when you are doing some project when you are doing some you are solving the problem, you simply don't use the cameras. Okay, don't use the cameras. First analyze with respect to these five. Okay, so whether I need a widespread sensing system, or whether I need a analysis based sensing systems, whether I need a independent sensor with the central unit, whether I need a independent different wave sensors with a central unit, or I need a independent sensing systems, independent localized sensing systems, fully localized sensing systems. So you think in that direction, you are going to make that sensing systems very, very effective compared to your normal approaches. So that is the advantage of bio-inspired approach. So this is what they achieved. This is what a micro lens system I told, right? So this is the way they structure it. Okay. So this kind of thing only they used in that drone cameras. Okay. So that is about the sensing systems in the nature. So next is the control systems. Control systems that don't go for artificial intelligence, okay? Because it is there, sorry, not artificial intelligence, artificial neural network. You skip that topic, no issue. Okay, but soft robotics, you please that video you please go through. Soft robotics you must go through for your exam, because control systems means immediately artificial neural network. Many places you will read that. But the soft robotics generally we neglect. That's why I covered that first. Covered in the next video. I will share with you. After that, you just go through bio-inspired optics, and we will conduct the exam on December 1st. Is that fine? Because next third week onwards, your exams will start, I feel. Is that fine?
No, sir.
Yeah. So people are asking questions. You can ask now. So my proposed exam is on December 1st. Now you can tell whether you want that or when we conduct the exam. No, this is the last class. You can talk now. Other two, you have to look into videos.
So actually, in the calendar, it is December 3rd.
Sorry?
It was written December 3rd for bio-inspired.
December 3rd. Okay. So, okay, we will conduct on December 3rd. What is there? Okay. No problem. Okay. It will be like a exam, like definitely it is online, right? It will be like an open book exam only. I will give maybe 5 or 6 questions. Okay. Within those 3 hours, you please write and submit online. Okay. So I think that is fine. No, it's okay, because they are saying in timetable they gave in December 3rd, right? So let us conduct on December 3rd itself. No problem. So that's not an issue. Okay. So you please all give attendance, and if you have any question, you can ask now. So your exam is going to be December 3rd. So in between you have any questions, you please ask, or you can mail me also.
So will it be a pen and paper exam, or do we have to just type the answers in a document and mail it to you?
That is anyway is fine for me. Okay, pen and paper exam, but please don't write like a normal exam. Okay, use your creativity, and you please remember you are an engineer. So it is on pen and paper is also fine, or if you type and edit it and send me also fine. But within that 3 hours you have to submit.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. If you write on the paper also, anyway you take photo and upload it, right? That is fine.
So what's the maximum marks for the exam?
Sorry?
Maximum marks.
Maximum marks. So we conducted some 4 assignments, right? And the concept document I gave 10 marks. Okay. So mostly it is for 60 marks or 70 marks.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Because concept documents I told you I will give 10 marks. So we already finished one assignment. So it will be like 70 marks around. Yeah, it will be 70 marks. So that is about the course. So next week you please go through other 2 classes also, because I will reshare it again. Okay. So based on that, if you have any questions or query, you please, because next 2 weeks I will be out of station as well as off from office. Okay. So if you have anything, you can post a mail. That's it. Oh, this is going to Pallavi's drive location, I think. Please share.